Welcome to Tpull's Corner. My opponent always seems to choose interesting names. It's Evergreen Month. It's June. That means we take one Evergreen mechanic and we focus on it almost to the exclusion of all else. So our target this time is First Strike. Creature deals combat damage before any creatures that don't have the First Strike. And the name of the deck is called The First Cut is the Deepest. Couldn't resist. We did Vigilance already. I think First Strike is when... hello? Okay, so Thalia also has this property, non-creature spells cost one more to cast. So they might have some interesting spells, but they're instants and sorceries, and they're just not willing to put up with that. I had mentioned recently that I should just make a deck where it doesn't really matter what's in it as long as I make them frustrating, and then my opponents will just scoop. Because, I mean, it's probably not politically correct to say, but in my day, when we first started playing Magic the Gathering, there were some very cutthroat, spiky players that we came across. But this was in person. This was before the internet, right? The internet kind of started going around 97. Magic started in 93, right? So I started playing in, I think it was 94 when I started playing. People didn't scoop. People didn't leave. People showed up to play the game. It's one of the things, it's made it easy to be a wussy if you're doing digital only. Like, fine, I'll just leave. You played a card. I'm not happy. I usually go into the deck tech after my first battle, but that match was just, it wasn't good. We're not going to do that. We have to give you more upfront entertainment. Okay, so I think I keep both of those lands, actually. First Blood is mine. Standard deck size. Our opponent is Oz 2831 this time. It's a 6/6 already on turn 3? It's disgusting. Go away. No. Wussies. Sissies. I don't know what the right term is these days. Everything that I'm using is from the 70s and 80s. It's probably going to get me canceled and in trouble. I don't know how to describe the attitude of people playing this game anymore. Why does nobody want to play with me? Barely playing cards. And I'm playing the cheapest cards. It's not like I have a swarm deck. Alright, let's go through it. I do have a normal disdain for the 1 mana drops, right? I tend not to use them. But for this one, I decided I wanted a good curve, right? So we've got average mana cost is 2.7. I've got 30 creatures. Very heavy creature deck. I don't normally do this. 25 lands. We've got Survivor of Corliss. And the big thing that you're going to notice is we're overloading on the mechanic of First Strike. So it doesn't really matter what else they do, as long as they have First Strike. Voldaren Stinger has First Strike as long as it's attacking, and you can pump it up with extra mana. Heir of Enlightenment turns into Hand of Enlightenment, which has First Strike as the monk. Knight of Dawn's Light, 4 copies, 2/2 with First Strike. You can also pump them up, just like the Stinger. I only have 2 copies of Thalia, so First Strike for that. It's relatively cheap, right? It's easy to kill. You just need 1 more to cast an instant or sorcery spell. 3 copies of Brutal Cathar. When it turns to Nightbound and becomes Moonrage Brute, then it gets First Strike. We have a copy of the Celestis as the Mana Dork to sort of trigger this day-night change whenever it's most convenient to me. We have Phalagi Vanguard. I've used this card before. This is a fun card. It's been several months, actually. I kind of missed it. Not only has First Strike, when it enters the battlefield or another, target creature gets +2 until end of turn. Really good with trample too, but we're not doing trample this particular deck. Ryo Storm's Edge. I usually pair this with other red, white, gold cards, especially the one that the Samurai that turns indestructible when you hit your opponent. But I left that out this time. But anyway, we got Legendary Human Samurai with first strike. Whenever Samurai or Warrior you control attacks alone, untap it. If it's the first combat phase of the turn, there's an additional combat phase after this phase. Now this is just a soldier, not a warrior or a samurai. These are all like soldiers and knights. We do have Voldaren Stinger that's a warrior, so that would also work with Ryo. I did not make like a samurai warrior tribal deck to really maximize the advantage that Ryo gives you. But we also do have one copy of Ballroom Brawler's Witch is a warrior. When it attacks, it and up to one other creature you control both gain your choice of first strike or lifelink. So I do have an option there. 2 copies of Boonbringer Valkyrie, which has first strike and lifelink and flying. And both of these cards, if I choose the lifelink option, right, they help with Knight of Dawn's Light. And then we have 1 copy of Bonehorde Dracosaur, which is a flyer with first strike, 5/5, and some extra stuff where you can exile cards at the top of your upkeep. You play them that turn only, and they go into exile. If you did exile a land card out of one of those 2 top cards, you create a 3/1 red dinosaur creature token. If you exile a non-land card, you create a treasure token. For the lands, of course, we've got a bunch of variety here. 2 Ganjos, 1 Hidden Courtyard for discovery, 1 Fair Basilica for draw a card, same Hidden Volcano for red's discovery, a couple of Sukanzans. If we have extra land, we'll ditch these and create some colorless spirit creature tokens. 1 more Autonomous Furnace for card draw, a couple of Restless Bivouacs. I only have 2, so I included 2. That's fine, right? And then 1 Field of Ruin. A lot of non-basic lands. And that's 2 wins in a row. We barely got to play any cards. I don't think of this as like something close to a mono-red aggro deck, but it is unusual for me to have 8 1-drops in a deck. I don't know how big a deal that's going to change things, but I'm used to making really big spells, and my opponent scoops once I'm used to them beating my face until I'm down to like 4, 3, or 2, or 1 life point, and then I play my really monster of a spell, drop a big bomb, and then they scoop. I'm very unused to them scooping after turn 1 or 2. Let's see. I don't really have an untapped single spell. Let's go ahead and just play the tap land. Let's go ahead and maximize use of energy. We'll put out Thalia now. They're playing both white and black. They can afford a cut down right now. You notice it hurts our Celestis if it hangs around. So not even the best spell for us, but we have 30 creatures, so we're mostly creature dependent and not dependent on a lot of other spells. I think I have a tendency when it gets to be Evergreen Month, because we're dealing with mechanics, right? Most of the mechanics, most of the Evergreen mechanics are going to be on creatures. So I automatically have a bias for the month of June anyway, which might be unusual in other places, but oh, they have double strike, not just first strike. Scared of you. So I do have this tendency to add in extra creatures during this month. I guess we'll just hang back. We're not really scared of double strike. Our first strike would still match them. We can afford the Celestis. We will bring out the Celestis. No attacks, I guess. Yet again, they don't discard the land and bring it in. They're getting rid of Thalia, right? No, they get rid of the Celestis. interesting choices here. Let's try Ryu. And the Voldaren Stinger. They gained a life. They're winning. They're ahead. They're looking at Ryu like they're going to do something to it. Static net. Gross. Bring it on. Trade. Deal. Opponent still does not miss a land drop by turn 7. But they didn't remove the Valkyrie this time. That might hurt my Air of Enlightenment if they want to use it that way. Let's go ahead and scry for now. I think we're good with lands, right? And I'm gonna hold on to Survivor of Corliss. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Oh, shoot. I hit the advance. Okay, so they might be attacking now. This is whenever it attacks, they're going to create it. I should have put that down there so I could just line up a triple block with first strike against it. If they got past all my defenses, they've got like 12, 13 points of damage ready. They move that instead of using it to get rid of the enchantment. Eight points. We let it happen. We're taking it. Okay, we gain 2 life back. We bring down the Cathar. Architect goes away. Bring this down extra. Continue the attack. Now they can still just stick the crowbar on Naomi. Predictable. And they crew the Soul Ripper. They need to make the decision whether they're going to sacrifice something now. And they should, right? They should, and they do. Let's see. Do you have removal? That's going to ruin my defensive line. No, you just ran it into a triple block with everybody having first strike. And first strike is pretty cool. Alright. Didn't gain much there. Let's go ahead and draw a card. Let's see. We have a legendary creature, so we could do that anytime. That's not a spell, though. We will go ahead and attack. They're down to 8, and we're up to 25. Death Touch and Menace, it doesn't matter because I have first strike. What are they doing? What are they doing? Opponent, what are you doing? They all have first strike. You do not. Why would you do that without a trick up your sleeve? No. You ran in because you had a spare? That's the only reason? That's terrible. What else do we want to take? I think we just take you. Over the head? Sounds like a plan. I mean, we can go ahead and do this too, right? Because they'll have to double block that in order to kill it. That was something they could have destroyed anytime they wanted by sacrificing one of their 2/2 Citizen's Crowbar. So that was a liability just hanging around anyway. Okay, drew another card. One last chance for this to take care of the Valkyrie. If not, we're pretty much done here. And I think all the credit goes to First Strike. Exile target you control. Okay, so they draw yet another card, but they're out of mana. How come they couldn't choose both? Ah, well. Okay, Retribution should be swift and sure, right? Because that's 3 in a row. I don't want to say that opponent's name. Okay, standard deck size. They get to go first. But we have an untapped Plains finally. So we can just get going at the very beginning. Look at all this land I'm getting up front. It's not usual. Everything's backwards. I'm playing with tons of creatures instead of few creatures. I'm getting extra lands instead of being land starved. Is today opposite day? Not used to being roped on turn 2. Probably should have attacked first, but... They use it on the 1/1 instead of the 2/2. They must have extra removal already in hand. They're just avoiding the damage. They're like, yep, okay, we got it covered. We're fine. Nice card. That enters tapped. This does not enter tapped. It's like we need to Aganju that now. See if it's going to work. It works! Scratch one Flesh Gorger. And they get rid of my knight. That's fair. Okay, for our next trick... Celestus. And Voldaren Stinger. 30 creatures means we should be able to put down at least one creature per turn. Which means black and white colors should run into trouble at some point. Okay, except we don't get triggers now. 3, 4... This is bad for us because it puts us on defensive. A 4/7 with vigilance is really tough. I would basically need 9 mana to be able to pump up the Stinger. And since it's got vigilance, it can defend against all the stuff that I have as well. Take action. Get rid of the extra. That on-curve mythic rare really took care of things, didn't they? And they're not slowing down with their removal. They are absolutely packed with a ton of removal. No, let's go ahead and do this. And let's scry 2. Still not enough, but I guess I should take it. I'll take both of those. Next. I'm running out of time. Why are you not? You have vigilance. Why are you not attacking? It's kind of strange. Okay, so we don't have the enter into battlefield effect. So Vanguard is basically just a 2/3 first striker now. Is that what they've been waiting for? A boring Shieldred that we have to face? This is because we won 3 in a row, isn't it? So they're just going to sit back and do nothing. We have enough first strikers now. If they don't have removal, they have breached the multiverse. Are they going to take one of my Ryus? Oh no, they get my Boonbringer Valkyrie. That's what I wanted. They really, all they needed was just that one card to stall. Oh my goodness. We're so dead.
So neither will I.
We're so dead.
I'll keep watch.
That does no good. We don't really have much in the way of interaction to remove these pesky things. We do have first strike. I didn't expect that. This does not work with this still alive. 2, 3, 4, 5, not enough. 1, 3, 4, 5, not enough. Okay, so can I get through? We can cancel out the Ryus at least, right? No more attackers, just bring down my backup Ryu. In the turn. Look at all the land they've been drawing.
I've done my research.
Enchantment sagas don't work with Elish Norn around. This is like a whole big lockdown against me. Must be a trick, but this is our only chance to get rid of it. Board wipe? Or back up Elish Norn. Sunfall, okay, board wipe. Okay, so Shieldred, Elish Norn, and Kaya and Breach the Multiverse were not enough. You still have to have your board wipes. Wow. Seems like an overpowered deck. No, that's okay. This should work just fine. Okay, so we bring you down. They don't have enough mana to go ahead and convert this yet. So we can do this. What can you do with 1 mana?
What did I ever do to you?
Plenty, okay, lady? Plenty. They should be willing to cast at least 1 spell. Or they can just do the life gain, life drain.
I'll be back. Just must be something we can one down. Who's next?
Seriously. Yeah, they can just bring back they can bring back a Kaya, they can bring back a Shieldred. They just packed what, 4 Shieldreds into their deck? Yeah, there's at least 3 of them that were there. They like Ryu and they like the Phyrexian Fleshgorger. I don't have a board wipe in here. What's left to do against this? Basically dead next turn. It's coming our way. Not good enough, not good enough. Let's scry again. Not good enough. I like that card. And so I can't really afford the ward cost on that. So what I do is I banish my own creature and I chump block with this. When this comes back, it's gonna come back on my side. It doesn't let me sacrifice. They're only attacking with the 1. Okay, well, they're smart. And yet another Kaya, which is why they didn't get Kaya from the graveyard.
Overlords.
Wow.
Gotta think on my feet.
I mean, sure, I'm going to keep the one I got. Woohoo, we gained 2 life. attacks. They can just exile my Valkyrie. They like to do the draw card
I've done
thing.
my research.
Yeah, 1 life point gained is not going to be enough for me here. I can't even afford to use the Celestis to go digging.
I'll help any way I can.
Yeah. I feel like they're just playing with their food. We have to block with 2 because it has Menace. But I have First Strike, which means it dies if they don't have anything to defend it. Okay. They do that. They kill the Cathar. I get my creature back. And take action. Okay, that gives us a Cathar. That is good. Use the Cathar, we get rid of the 4/4 token. Oh no, it came in nighttime because I had to switch to nighttime. Okay, so we'll just go on a suicide run, I guess. They're just having way too much fun. Did they know? They knew. They knew they were here to take me out because I'd won too many rounds. From the moment Elish Norn came down on turn 5, it just stopped me cold, and it just got worse steadily from there. Three Brutal Cathars. Okay. What are you trying to tell me, Arena? And they managed to get 2 creatures down already. Disgusting. Let's go ahead and just attack first. We take that. And we bring down one of these. And we bring down one of these. You and your cheap decks. We'll match you this time. We came ready. We came prepared. That's going to be a waste of your time. We're just going to exile everything that you put things on. Five points of damage unless you're going to chump block. Yeah. Okay. Okay, we're back to where we were. The game is reset. Ooh, masteries. We're going to do this one more time. Our wins are quick. Our losses can be excruciatingly drawn out. And there is probably very good reason to go down from 30 creatures and to add in a board wipe or two or a very choice removal card, especially for something like Elish Norn. She seems to be the bane of my existence. Anytime I make a deck that I have no removal in, Elish Norn shows up. But that's just Arena's algorithm at work as usual. Okay, we don't have an initial 1-drop except for Voldaren. I want to try and hold on to Sokinzin if I can. I probably won't be able to. You take your 4. Okay. 4-1, we'll just use a Ganjo unless they place another land and do nothing but pump things up. Oh, guess what? Didn't work, did it? Love it when a plan comes together. It's a little trick for y'all. Just know how priority works, and you can squeeze in there before the last one and get things done. They're going to draw a card, right? Okay. What do we do against that? Do we go ahead and remove it? Yes, we do. Doing good. Usually this black-white combo just plays Phyrexian Arena and goes to draw their board wipe really quick. Or something like that. Unfortunately, we're ready for it. And it's not dying, so nothing... Oh, let's put the extra 2 on there. We could put down another creature, but we could have that board wipe too. So it's good to have options. Down to 2. This will have to be our last battle. I gotta go make dinner plans. Okay, so they get 1 back. That is nowhere near enough. Nowhere near enough. We bring you down. We pump you up. We pump you up. And we attack. Could have made it even bigger with Knight of Dawn's Light. They can't block here. It's got first strike. It would just die. If they had a flash spell, they could bring in 2 extra creatures to defend. They could chump block for 1 turn. But first strike and first strike really changes the calculus on things. It doesn't matter if they kill the Cathar. If they can't do it before the first strike, they don't get this creature back. If they get this creature back and sacrifice something, I'll just sacrifice the creature that's not attacking. So 2 mana, 7 cards. Do you have anything that can help at this point? Because if you have one removal spell, and you can block and kill the second, the third one's still got lethal capability. We use this pause to do station identification. For the new people, like and subscribe to Tpull's Corner. This is your host, Travis. This is Evergreen Month. The first cut is the deepest is the name of the deck. The mechanic we overwhelmingly used was First Strike. I like it. I probably should switch out at least one creature for a board wipe or just something to deal with Elish Norn or Shieldred. I could go as high as 2 removal cards, but you got to tell me which 2 creatures I should remove. And since I do have to go make dinner, I don't have time to worry about editing today. But luckily, they didn't wait that long. All right. Good game, good game. So that was really, what, like 5 wins and 1 loss? Not bad overall. Let's go and show you the deck one last time. The first cut is the deepest. It's a nice little mana curve. I think it curved out really nice. Didn't get to see the Dracosaur this time. And didn't really get to use the Ballroom Brawlers yet. But everybody else kind of made an appearance and became useful. Yeah? Alright. Let me know what you think in the comments. Thanks, everybody. Have a good one.